Hey Hayden, Coach Gilcrease here. First, I just want to thank you for coming out to camp. Hope everything's been going good with you, buddy. This is going to be your video analysis. So the first thing I like to look at is I like to make sure we've got a good foundation and a good base set up before we start our swing. Okay, so we've got a good athletic stance, good bend in our knees, our hands are in a good position. So everything looks good at this point of your swing. So the next thing I want to look at is I want to make sure we have a good load. Okay, so in doing a good load, okay, so the first thing we want to make sure is that when we load, all of our weight stays on our back leg. Okay, that's kind of the whole reason we're loading in the first place, is to gain momentum from that back leg and then to make sure it goes forward as we're swinging. Okay, so the second part of our load is to make sure that it kind of goes hand in hand in the first part. So when you move this front foot, make sure our weight doesn't transfer forward, okay, because we're counteracting our load when we do that. Okay, the next thing is I want a little bit of movement in our hands. Okay, we want a rhythm to our swing. Our hands move a little bit when that front leg starts to move, and then everything kind of flows together after that. Now the most important thing in it is that our head stays still. Okay, so right now our head's in the center of our body, so we want to make sure it stays there throughout the entirety of our swing. Okay, so now I'm going to play your load through and get you to that firing position and see where our hands and our legs at and everything like that once we get to that position. Okay, so what I noticed here is that there is no load. Okay, there's a little bit of a load with our front leg. Okay, but our hands don't move, and there's no transfer of our weight. Okay, so everything we do, everything we hit from this position where we're at now, when we take our load the way you do it now, everything we do, the power is just pure strength. Okay, so there's no momentum going towards that ball. Okay, so what we want to do is move when we load, have this foot come up and then this foot come down over here. Okay, and we want our hands to move in this direction, and that barrel will be right here. And that way, now there's a rhythm to it. Now our weight's moving backwards, and our head's still staying there. We're just moving our hands and our front leg. Okay, so we're just picking the front foot up and putting it back down. We're not moving our weight forward as we move that leg. Okay? So now, let's get you to the firing position. Okay? So the path to the ball. Okay, this is a big key right here. The path that we want to take to the ball is this straight line here. We want to be short to it and long through it. Okay? So in order to do that, we have to make sure our hand stays above the ball the whole time, and that we start our swing here with our back hip. Okay, so that back hip goes on and fires, and then our hands follow our hip. Okay? So let's see where your hands are. Okay, you're above the ball. Okay? You do a good job with that. The next thing in this position here is we want to make sure that everything's good here. Okay, so your head, first off, is in a good position. Okay, you're still in the center of your body. Okay, now with this front leg here, see how it's got a little bit of a bend to it? Okay, we want it to be like this straight line here. Okay, we want to hit off of a stiff front side and then have this back leg be bent the way it is. Okay, so we have a good L here on our back side. That's where our power comes from. But again, right now it's just dead power. Okay, you're doing the right thing with it. You're rotating up and flexing it down. But as far as driving the ball through that, there's not much going on because there's no weight transfer going backwards. Okay, so from here, what we want to focus on is our follow through. So we want to push through the zone. Okay, so right here we got our right palm pointing up and our left palm pointing down. That means our bat is in a good position. Our hands are in a good position. That means our barrel is going to be good through the zone. Now, after we make contact is the most important part of our swing. We have to continue to push through the zone to make sure that ball, we get everything out of that swing we can. Okay? And you do a good job of pushing through, but see how your barrel's going down? Okay, we don't want it to go down. We get to contact, we want that barrel to push through the same plane it's on, okay, not go down. We want to finish high with two hands on the bat, not low with one hand on the bat. Okay? Hayden, this is Coach Gilcrease again. Thanks a lot for coming out to camp. Look forward to seeing you again, buddy.